Well, welcome back to the channel. Today is June 5th, 2026, and today I want to talk about the Venice token, or ticker symbol VVV. So I'm not personally invested in this token. Please keep in mind I'm an amateur investor and trader. I have a day job, so I don't do this professionally. However, I do want to just kind of go over what I'm seeing in the charts. So today's just going to be a quick update. Uh, about a little over about 12 days ago, I had talked about this token, and unfortunately, it's done something that I was kind of expecting. So let's just go over it. So the Venice token has come up here and tagged this area where it had its last resistance when it first started as a token on Coinbase. So it probably had been listed on decentralized exchanges, other exchanges around the world, but on Coinbase it started to trade in January 2025, and it went from this resistance line all the way down here, and then it had its great run, which we talked about, but it's tagged this resistance line and reacted to it violently. I don't think that this is because of Bitcoin. I think this is just simply because it has run its course, and that investors who had probably invested somewhere around here, they are taking profits, and they will probably look to be distributing those profits into Bitcoin, maybe even Ethereum or Solana, because those particular assets are coming into their lows, and so it's a good time to start scaling into those. So if we look at this from a daily perspective, what happened is you can see there's a little bit of this resistance line. It was able to stay above it. The moving averages were in good shape, but once it hit this top resistance, the price has dropped below the 8 moving average. It's dropped below the 20 moving average, and it's heading towards the 50 moving average. Now, if the 50, there is a chance the 50 moving average can catch it and maybe try to hit this top mark again. But based on what I'm seeing in other parts of the charts, I don't think it has much steam left to get above this resistance line. It needs to cool off and sort of trace back down before it comes to try to hit this resistance line again. And what I'm seeing is if I go over here, let's go to the weekly on the and what we have here is R we have the parabolic RSI, we have the stochastic RSI, we have the money flow index. And as you can tell, this the RSI measures overbought, oversold, and it's really high on overbought, oversold. So this coin was way overbought, and so at the inevitable of what must come goes up must come down parable is coming into effect. The stochastic RSI has had a cross on the weekly, and it's going to probably confirm under the 80 sometime this week. The money flow index is showing downward momentum, and the MACD, even though it's a little bit delayed sometimes, it's already moving towards crossing this line, and it shows it was way overbought because it's over this square. It's showing that it was way overbought. It didn't have much steam left in the coin. If we drop to the daily, you're going to see these markings. What we have here is on the parabolic RSI on the daily, we have bearish divergence. Some people don't really understand what this means, but this is where the RSI is going down, but the price is going up. In the stock market, this can go on for months, sometimes even years. However, in crypto, it doesn't tend to go over that long. This happens all the time in Bitcoin, and it's usually just a few months. However, with this particular token, the bearish divergence has really started around May of 2026, so about a month. And because it's on the daily, it's really starting to show. So what's going on? The reason why I show this is you see the RSI is going down, but the price still tries to trickle up. But this is a sign. What these indicators are trying to say is that things are reversing. That's what bearish divergence typically indicates on the charts, is that at any moment you're going to start to see things person. It can sometimes, even though this price keeps on going up, it's not. There's other underlying factors that are showing that the steam is running out. And so the stochastic RSI is going down, bearish divergence, even the money flow indicator. Because if you're at this point here, you see right there, it made a new all-time high. Well, it didn't make a new all-time high, but it went higher there. But the money flow index is down here. And then if you look at the MACD, it's already starting to collapse. So what I think is, based on these charts, VVV had a great, incredible run. Okay, it's been a great coin. It ran during a bear market on Bitcoin, and it's providing proof that crypto is expanding, and that it's not always going to follow Bitcoin. There is another coin that did something similar, and that was Zcash, and I'll probably talk about that soon. And so uh, VV is a coin to watch out for in the future. But if you have not already taken profits, my recommendation is now is probably a good time to take profits, especially if you invested somewhere down here or down here. It has run its course, and I do not know when the bleeding for VVV is going to stop. It could do something like this, where it comes down here, to maybe touches the 200 and then goes up and attempts to cross this line again. It could come way down further and go below the 200. I don't know what the future brings. All I can tell you is that for the short term, and when I mean short term, I'm talking probably the next 6 months. VVV is going to slowly start grinding down, and if you have, so if you've been investing since down here, now's probably a good time to exit. So that's all I have for today. I hope you have a great day, and I hope God blesses you. Goodbye.